Okay, now this next video is about still flowers and creating the flowers, but these will be 3D flowers, but not like the rolled flower. So this is where we're going to layer them. Now I've drawn this, it's again just a heart-shaped petal. So you can see here I've got a circle. So you could draw your own if you want to, or you can change them. So I've done the heart exactly the same way as we did the heart in the previous video. And if I go into circle and say 4, so I need to put the center in the center, bring this in. Okay, so I'm having it about like that. So here I've got this space. So I'm going to apply, going to hold the shift and pick up the circle and then weld. And that is basically how I got these flowers. So you could change the petals if you want to. You could add another round if you wanted to. So this has 4, 1, 2, this has 5. Okay, so you could do 5 hearts around. Let's just do that. Undo, undo, go for a circle and have 5. Put this in the center, grab this one, something like that. Apply, pick up the center, the pink. Doesn't want to pick up. Let's do it this way. Pick up everything and weld. There you go. Now, why is there 4? Okay, so the 4, let's just see size-wise how this compares. It's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. So this one and this one are the same size, but they're a mirror image. So I've taken this, I've made a copy and a paste, and then mirror X. So one is facing one way and the other the other. Now you only need to do this if you want to do like I'm going to do with fabric, because what we're going to do, we're going to iron, heat and bond onto the back of each of the flowers, then cut them, and then we're going to put the 2 big ones back to back and iron them together. So then you have fabric on the front and the back, and you have the heat and bond obviously in between. And the only difference between these 2 and the bottom 2 is they're a little bit smaller, but basically the same flower. Now this one's a tiny bit bigger. So I've given you these as a download, but feel free if you want to draw your own. And I kept them side by side, so as they were cut and I picked them up, I pinned them together so I know their mirror image. So then I made a copy again of this and paste and change the color. Let's make it grey, and then resize it down so that it fits just inside the other one. Now you could rotate it ever so slightly so you can see the look you're going to get once you layer one on top of the other. So then this one is this bottom one, and then I copy, paste, mirror image. So I've got basically 2 flowers, and the fabric is going to be on the front and the back. because when we iron heat and bond onto fabric and then heat and bond is basically like a plastic, like a thin sheet of plastic. At least the one I have is it's 120 microns or something. It's so strong that you actually don't have to stitch it. If you just iron it onto fabric, it's not going to fall off. Okay, so now you could cut out as many of these as you want to, and later when we get to the table, I'll be showing you what I did with them. Now, I have a few other flowers, and for me, I've kept them all on the one mat. But you're going to download these as separate flower one, flower two, and so on. So these were just cute little versions of the bigger one, which sometimes when you just need a little fill-in flower, you could use those. These are more the daisy pattern going on as well. So again, this one and this one are mirror images, and these are the same, just smaller. And then this is a bit like the heart one, a bit more elongated. Um, and again, just in the different sizes. Now, I've also included these. Now, this is quite small, but I have cut this out and it does cut. However, I did slow the machine down to about 42 and I didn't have any issues with it. So this little thing can be nice in the center of a flower. So you could cut this in any colorway you wanted. It could be a green, or it could be black, or it could be any colorway, yellow even. Um, Sometimes you just need that little something to give a bit more detail. So also then a slightly bigger one, but as I said, I have cut the tiny one and it does cut well. And then this next flower, this is my what I call hydrangea flower. So again, I've cut these. Now this was just one flower and I've just copied it multiple times. So I haven't done a mirror image on these. If you want to, of course you can just delete um, the others. So just pick one. These are grouped. So if I copy, I might just take it over here and paste. So you would just take one and then copy and paste again and then mirror X. And it is slightly different, ever so slightly. And again, I cut these out. I cut twos and then stitch them together. So, and for the project I was doing, I wanted the 3D effect and I absolutely wanted these to create the look of a hydrangea. So if you don't flip these, they still irons together okay. There wasn't really a big deal or a big issue with them, but it's up to you. If you want to, you can. So that's all the flowers. Um, and I'll just go and find the page and come back and show you the leaves. Okay, so here I've opened up the leaf collection. So in here you have a nice set of leaves. These are going to be individuals. I've just got them all on one page so you can see. So this one's quite nice here. Sometimes we want things going straight up and down, sometimes a bit bendy. Now, this one here, which is on its side, let me just bring that across. Okay, so these two are the same, albeit this guy's a little bit smaller, which is irrelevant, really. But all I've done here is added these shapes here, and I've grouped it so that it cuts out that inside piece. Now, I haven't combined it because I wanted to keep it this way so that when it cuts the inside first and then the outside. Less issues with things slipping or sliding or moving on the mat where you're doing double cuts like this if you cut the inside section first. So I've added in another one of these in here in on my page with the leaves so that if I'm cutting leaves, I'm going to be cutting probably greens and a few of those little flower shapes would look good in green. So that's why I've got that there. Now this one here, this kind of reminds me a little bit of maybe we have a plant in Australia called fishbone fern. It kind of is a little bit like that. I'm trying to get to my greens. Put some green in. It actually cuts really nice, so I was very happy with that. But then remember, I'm cutting everything on heat and bond. This one, although it looks a bit crazy, actually cuts quite nice too. And then this here, this is just a wider version of the one below. And this is the leaf I've used. So you may only have this one, but all I've done is copied and paste and made it wider because I was looking for a leaf to resemble hydrangea leaves. So all I did was make it bigger than this one and pull it out to make it a bit wider as well, and that gave me that nice plump looking leaf. Now this one is the same as this one again. This has no center cutouts in it and this one does. So the yellow here for the cutouts, it's going to cut the yellow first and then it's going to cut the green. And this one is very much like a die I have, which I love and I use all the time. So I wanted to be able to use it on the cutter as well. So it's not exactly the same, but it's kind of this shape leaf with these centers cut out, and it looks delightful when it's cut. No, that doesn't work. Undo because it's grouped. Okay, if I ungroup and then click on the leaf, that doesn't work. Yeah, because I haven't combined it, but it's absolutely gorgeous when it's cut out, and I'm pretty sure you'll like it too. So I'm going to just group it back together. Having said that, on its own here in a nice fabric, I've been cutting in some kind of batik-y sort of greens, and you get that light and dark in the shading. Now I'm talking fabric. Of course, you can do exactly what I'm doing here in card or paper, and you can certainly use some of your yummy green paper to cut these out as well. So although I'm talking fabric because that's what I've done, you can do it in card as well. But while we're talking fabric, you can combine any of these leaves with the flowers that you have in the other file, and you could create an applique design. For example, you could do a table runner where you might just cut the flowers out like I'm going to show you in the video at the table and make them 3D and maybe just do a little section on the corner that's quite nice, whether it be flat or whether it be 3D. It's up to you. on a mug rug for a gift, I think you could just push them to the side so they didn't get in the way of a cup and create something. And again, of course, if you wanted to use them in applique, you could simply change them to applique as well. So that's it for the files. So each of these is going to be downloaded, be able to be downloaded. So you will get all of these flowers and all of these leaves. I may not have put in the fat one, but you can do that. Yep, so they're all downloadable, so you can download. So in the next video, I will show you what I've done with them and how I went about it. Bye for now.